Hello everybody, it's Clormo with another video in my Logic Pro X tutorial series talking about Alchemy, and today we're getting out of the source edit window and going back into the heart of Alchemy and the engine, like I want to call it, and I'm going to be talking about the main filters. As usual, and this is the first time you are seeing one of my videos in my channel, either because you stumbled upon it or you were referred by a friend. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with new videos weekly, and like and share and comment, make requests, whatever you want to do. If you want to follow me on my other social media accounts, all the information is right there at the bottom, and you can also see there some of the other stuff that I'm doing with writing and beat making and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get into Logic Pro. So we're gonna be talking about this section alone, the filters, which is accessible from the advanced view. I was in the previous videos inside the source editors and I went through all this stuff already. So if you're not up to speed with that, I suggest that you actually start from the beginning before you get here, unless you are a little bit proficient already with Alchemy and just want to get a little bit more information on the main filters that you may not know. Another thing that it's important, notice that I went to a source up page to be able to access the edit. I don't see the filters in that view. I have to be in the global view, and I am only going to talk about one because we have one and two. They're pretty much the same. Obviously, the reason that we have two main filters is because we can combine them in different ways and then send them to the output of Alchemy and so on and so forth. But as far as the parameters themselves, they are the same. So I'm gonna do some quick tweaks here and there. I kept the MIDI information that I've been carrying, but for sure after I get out of here and we go to the modulation, I'm gonna change some of that. So anyways, what we have here, what we can do with the filters is pretty self-explanatory, but the output from all four sources that we have here, A, B, C, and D, is sent to the main filters at levels that are determined by all the tweaks that you do in all the parameters that I have shown you already, which are independent on each source subcontrol page. Both main filter modules provide multiple mode filters with identical controls, so I'm just repeating what I said in the beginning, same controls. A note that I want to make here is that it's possible for each source to completely bypass the filters, go straight to the output, or go to the effects down here, but we're still a long ways to get to that. But I just wanted to make that note that you can bypass the filters if you so desire. You can also combine filters and effects in multiple ways, but sometimes it's a better practice to actually use as little filters as you can, as little effects as you can, to achieve a particular result. So regardless of what I tell you here, there's always going to be this experimental process, this experimental component to dealing with any synth. So keep that in mind. You know, you can probably achieve something, and then later, as you get more comfortable using Alchemy, find out that you can do it in less steps or without stressing the CPU as much. But those type of things I cannot really teach you because there's so many styles out there. Like, I do mostly hip-hop. I like electronic music and rock and all that, but I'm making mostly hip-hop nowadays. So some of the sounds that I may prefer, that I can then save as presets and all that, might not be your style. Okay, so please keep that in mind. I'm not Really gotta teach you that until we get into some of the sound design. Maybe you can get something from that specific to your genre, but not here, and not with usage of filters. I'm not gonna teach you something with the usage of filters that will probably get you there, but just keep that in mind. Going through the actual components, pretty self-explanatory. Actually, we have seen this before in other synths, but just for a benefit of those that have seen a video for the first time, you have an on and off button, which obviously enables or disables any of the filters. You have a filter pop-up menu that has this absurd amount of filters, and in the next video I'm gonna attempt to go through all of them. I still haven't figured out if I am gonna be able to really explain them to you if I go by groupings. You see, like every time there's a sub page, it could be difficult when I get down here because these are pretty much independent of each other. But we'll get that in the next video. Anyways, you have a cutoff knob and a resonance knob. We have seen this before if you have been following me. The cutoff is just gonna set up the cutoff frequency. Think about equalization. And then for any of the filter types, you're gonna set a cutoff frequency, and the resonance knob, what it's gonna do is just gonna either boost or cut that cutoff frequency that you have set in this knob, right? Again, go back to some of my equalization and the other synth tutorials to get a more in-depth view on that, or you can search also independently on Google about equalization, about boosting frequencies, if you are still not too sure what this does. But it's very simple. Now, there's a grayed out knob here, which is the drive knob, and that's because it's going to be dependent on what filter you have. For example, the filter that I have here does not include a drive knob. If I change it to, I'm pretty sure the XP has one. That's weird because, oh, LP4, yeah, LP2 XP does have it. LP4 XP does not. Sorry about that. So that's your drive knob, and that is just an overdrive filter effect. If you're wondering what a drive effect or an overdrive filter is at this point, and you have been following me from the very beginning, I'll be disappointed in myself because maybe I haven't explained it that well. But for those that are new, it's just really distortion. Overdrive, you're distorting a signal. You can in turn produce very intense and very I don't want to say distorted, because obviously if it's a distortion, but they're intense and high energy type of effects and filters. Think about an electric guitar, especially heavy metal type of rock. There's a lot of overdriving depending on the band that you listen to, the song that you listen to, but that's what overdrive should be, or it's just a distortion. Now, something that's very subtle, and you may not remember it, but this guy's here, right? Wherever you have a name label, also serves the dual purpose to check your level. So there are meters. If I press play right now, you can see that I have, right, those are showing the levels, but in the case of the filters, as opposed to the sources, you see the level of the result of the 4 combined sources passing through the filter. So if you have something that's clipping, you're gonna see a red color indicated in any of the filters that you are targeting with your sounds and the sources. So moving now to the right of all of this, guys, you have a parallel or serial knob, this is also it's available in other synths that Logic has. For example, like the ES1 and ES2, you have some of this available. That's just gonna set the filter routing before any effects are applied to either parallel or series. But in a knob percentage type of way, which is a little bit simpler to understand in my view, because like for example, if it's at 0 like I have it right now, the total output of the filter labeled in this case number 1 is going to be sent to the main output, and that's it. So that would be parallel mode. That's why you see the word or the letters par at the left and series SER at the right. That would be the equivalent. At 100% like that, then the total output of filter 1 is going to be sent to filter 2. So they're in series. Both filters are going to be in series. If you're at 50%, then equal amounts of the output for filter 1 are going to be sent to the filter number 2 and to the output. So I think that's pretty clear, hopefully. Then you have here this FX master knobs for both of them, and this is really going to determine the balance between the filter output sent to the effects section down here and the filter module output that's going to be sent directly into the main output. Obviously, if you're at 0, this goes back to what I said in the beginning, your output is going to be sent completely to the Alchemy main output. So you're going to go from this filter to the output, and you're not going to go to any of the effects sections or racks, any of that stuff. If you're at 100%, then the output is going to be completely sent to the effects. So you have this pop-up here, right? And this is where you're routing your filter to go. If I'm going to the main effects, then again at 100% you're just going to bypass completely the main output. At 50% like it is now, then equal amounts of the filter output are going to be sent to the output, to the main output, and to the effects. This pop-up is really the send destination pop-up, similar to what we have for each source, which is this pop-up here. It's a send. So what you can do here is independently send outputs of the main filters to either the main effects rack, which is this guy down here. I'm just gonna bring it up, right? So either to the main or to A, B, C, and D effects or source effects, right, from the effects rack. So really with that, I have covered the filter. I now realize that probably I could have at least gave an overview on this list, but I just don't want to mix it up and make it confusing. Let's leave it right here, and then on the next video, then I'm gonna go through the filters. Still not sure how I'm gonna do that, but you'll soon find out when I do that. Remember that I am still pending to put out 2 different videos that I hope I'm gonna do it this or next week, showing the schedule that I'm gonna be adhering to as far as releasing videos, so that you can expect those instead of like I'm doing now, testing different days and stuff. And then a video and relaunching my webpage and showing you a little overview of the webpage, how you can buy beats, how you can make requests, communicate with me, so on and so forth. Anyways, see you in the next video. Thanks for the support. Peace out, YouTube.